Well, a new exhibit at the fair this year is making a huge splash with visitors and taking us below the surface of the waters. The Great Shipwrecks display tells the stories of wrecks lying at the bottom of the Great Lakes. Everything from vessels to the people who worked and lived on them.
And Dave White from the New York Sea Grant joins us today to talk about the display and why researching these wrecks is so important. Good morning, Dave.
I didn't wear yellow.
You didn't wear yellow. I didn't either. It's okay.
We're looking good. We're looking good on this side.
Yes, we are. And I have to say, before we get in even further, this little guy's looking good too. This is Coasty. We've got to introduce Coasty.
Okay, Coasty is here.
Yes.
And
so
explain Coasty.
Yes, tell us about Coasty.
One of our partners at the exhibit is the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, and Coasty is what I call the water-based sister to McGruff the crime dog. So Coasty can work with folks as they're coming up, talk to the kids and the families about boating safety, which is one of the issues we're talking about in the exhibit as well, because of divers and being out there in a boat, making sure they're safe, and boaters around them know about dive flags. So safety is a big piece of this as well when we talk about shipwrecks, because we don't want the next person to be the wreck.
Right. Yes, that's important.
So we should say good morning, Coasty.
Good morning.
Ah, very good.
How do we look, Coasty?
You all look good except for that David White.
Okay, there's a power button right back here.
Turn that off.
Well,
Leave me going.
Well, Dave, on a more serious note, tell us about the exhibit here. It's just down the way here, so explain it for us.
We're in the state park here at the fair. It's a new exhibit. It's a signature exhibit for the state fair called Great Shipwrecks of New York's Great Lakes. So we're really focusing on what we call New York's, quote, Great Lakes, because we have exhibitry on Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, the St. Lawrence River, Lake George, Lake Champlain, and the Finger Lakes. And we're highlighting 12 wrecks, and we really picked them specifically to talk about the different kinds of wrecks that we have. I mean, some will estimate there's over 10,000 wrecks in New York. So whether you want to say hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, many of them are down there, and each one has such a history to it about our development as a state and our development as a country, because many of them are from, you know, the War of 1812, French and Indian War. So there's just a tremendous amount of history we can bring to life for folks.
Now, you brought an artifact with you.
I did. We have several artifacts over there, and this is actually a diving helmet from 1945 that Jim is going to wear for the rest of the show. And we're going to watch him just buckle at the knees, because it weighs about 80 pounds in and of itself. And so we've got several artifacts so people can come over and look at it. But just looking at that, it gives you the feel for what back in the 40s divers were having to go through. The boots alone, it takes like, you can only carry one boot at a time. So it gives you a feel for what those divers were going through.
And finally, out at the lake over there, you're doing something, I guess, every day. I think you explained that a couple days ago.
We are. Actually, in the pool, we have an in-water buoy that's putting out the weather 24/7 right here from the fair, but also we're doing ROV demonstrations. And tomorrow, we'll be demonstrating the ROV all day.
ROV being?
Remote operated vehicle. And it's a remote operated vehicle under the water, because several people have come over thinking we're operating boats.
Yeah.
It's actually going underwater. We've sunk a canoe and several artifacts in the pool. And actually, tomorrow from 10 to 4, if folks want to come by, we're going to build an ROV, because you can go online and buy a kit as part of a STEM program at a high school and work with your kids in a high school or a Boy Scout or Girl Scout club and actually build your own ROV. So we're going to actually build one tomorrow and then launch it, and we know it's going to work.
Great. Well, before we go, can we ask Coasty to say we'll be right back? And then,
sure.
Okay, is that Coasty? Can you say we'll be right back?
We'll be right back.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. We will be right back. You're so cute.
Good job.